What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and I'm back again with another live stream. So the topic that I'll be discussing this live stream today is in regards to the Fresh and Fit situation with Asian Doll that was broadcasted on the Shade Room, right, on Instagram. The one thing that you got to understand at the end of the day is that situation that's going on in regards to Fresh and Fit, you have to understand that they were attacked by Asian Doll, and the other girl that was in that live stream, she was used as a pawn in order to be able to promote an agenda by Asian Doll, right? She talked about the black woman, right? That it takes a lot for her to be able to go through a lot as a black woman and not have to deal with all of the stuff that is being thrown at her by other people. Obviously, in this situation, would be Fresh and Fit, but you have to understand that looking at that whole interview podcast situation, she was only there for 10 to 15 minutes. When she arrived there, on top of being 2 hours late, right? She was also treated with respect. They gave her alcohol to drink. They treated her like a guest. They asked her to put her social medias in so people could be able to follow her. And they treated her with respect. And the girl that was being disrespectful on that podcast literally interrupted between 5 to 7 times. On top of the other black lady interrupting 5 to 7 times, you didn't know what the situation was when you came into it. And you started off by saying that the host, aka Myron, was disrespectful. So what did you start doing? You started whispering under his breath or whispering under your breath some disrespectful terms. You called him disrespectful, and then he told you what the situation was, that he has standards and he doesn't want people to talk to him in a certain way because it's ruining the quality of the show. Then from there, you flip the script, and then from there, after he checked you again, you started cussing and disrespecting him. And then after you cussed and disrespected him, he left to go do what he had to do. And then you ended up leaving. And because you felt some type of way, you took it to the Shade Room so they could be able to post him trying to make it seem like he was disrespecting you or he was talking to you in a disrespectful manner, even though he respectfully challenged you and told you you should not be doing that because he was trying to address another situation, but you made it seem like it was all about you, right? So then from there, they try to flip the narrative and make it seem like he is racist and that he does not like black women, right? We have to understand this one concept, right? Everybody, right? Everybody in this world is going to have a standard of what they like and what they don't like. Let me repeat that again. Everybody in this world is going to have a standard of what they like and what they do not like. You have to understand one thing at the end of the day. In this society, they don't try to shame women when women want a man that's 6 feet tall. They don't try to shame women when a woman wants a man that's making over $100,000 a year. They don't try to shame a woman when a woman wants a man that is in the best shape of his life. But when a man comes and says that he doesn't prefer certain types of women over others, he's labeled as a racist. He's labeled as a misogynist. He's labeled as a sexist. He's labeled as a bad person. You have to see these things for the way that they truly are. They don't want you to be woke about these things. So when you speak on these things, they see you as a bad person, right? You have to understand, especially in the black community, if you are not seen as a thug or a gangster, and I'm talking about like in the black community, at least in America, right? If you're an African woman born in Africa, or if you're a Caribbean woman born in the islands, this does not apply to you unless you were born and raised in America, right? This is specifically for black women that are in America, right? We're born and raised in America. If you don't fit the description of a thug or a gangster or a rapper who has a lot of money, is wearing jewelry, is wearing clothes that are dripped out, right? Probably a Mary Jeans, Christian Dior shoes, Christian Dior shirt, right? Puffer jacket, the type of hat that I'm wearing or something like that, like a brim or a fitted or snapback, whatever. You're not seen as the guy that is sexually attractive to that type of woman, right? And this is specifically black women, 90% of black women. So why would they want to make black women their preference just because they're black, even though black women are not accepting them in their community? You have to understand that. That's the truth. But the thing is that the Shade Room is going to make it seem like they're flipping the narrative and they don't like black women. They don't like black women because black women don't prefer them. This is what I tell guys all the time. You have to go after the women that want you. So if it's white girls that want you, if it's Hispanic girls that want you, if it's white girls that want you, if it's any other type of race. Go after the women that want you, the women that are going to respect you, the women that are going to put you at a high pedestal, especially if you're a high value man, right? You're improving yourself spiritually in your connection with the Most High. You're working out, getting yourself into the best shape of your life, right? You're improving mentally. You're improving every aspect of your life. Why are you going to settle? You've worked so hard to be able to elevate yourself. As a man, you're not born with value. Let me repeat that again. As a man, you're not born with value. You got to build your value. So why are you going to build your value just to have people try to dethrone you and disrespect you and treat you like you're not worth anything? Don't allow these narratives that the Shade Room is posting to affect you in your mind. They don't want you to be aware of everything that's going on. They're not going to come and tell you the truth. Asian Doll tried to use that as a pawn to make it seem like Fresh and Fit don't like black women, that they're against black people. I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. If anything, Fit, right, the dude that said he's from Sudan, is even more black than Asian Doll. He's African, just like myself. I'm Nigerian. He's Sudanese. He's from Africa. So how are they going to come and try to tell him that he's not even black, talking about he doesn't like black women? He's even more black than the average black person here in America. His ancestors are from Africa, and he's also African. So how are they going to try to come and tell him that he's not African? He doesn't like, or that he's not black and he doesn't like black women. They don't want you to see these things. They don't want you to see these things. They want you to think otherwise. So when people try to speak on this, they're shamed. But the average person seeing everything that's going on in the Shade Room is going to try to shame them. They're going to try to tell them that what they're saying is not important, what they're saying does not matter, right? They don't want them to see the truth for the way it truly is. They want you to be blind to everything that's going on in this matrix. They want you to be shamed. They don't want you to see the truth. So when you do see the truth, they try to shame you. Don't listen to everything that's going on because it's all meant to distract you, right? Every accusation right now, especially in regards to this situation with Asian Doll that's going against Fresh and Fit, and then them having dating preferences because they're saying that the average type of woman that they don't go for as a black woman is meant to put people at a lower state of vibration. They don't want people to see these things for the way that they truly are. But you gotta convince yourself that you're not gonna go for it. You gotta convince yourself that you're not gonna go for it because they don't want you to be woke, right? There's nothing wrong as a man to have a dating preference. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong as a man to have a dating preference. When you have a dating preference in America in 2022, they will try to shame you and tell you're a misogynist. You don't like women. You're a sexist. You over-sexualize women, right? You objectify women. Even the women objectify themselves by what they post on social media, on Instagram. And then they get mad because men objectify them, right? You cannot control how another person is going to react to what you post on Instagram. You cannot control that. You have to be careful about what you post, right? A lot of people in the past have been killed because of the certain things that they've posted. People find out their locations and then they go after them. So you can't control certain things. Only you can control how you react to it. Only you can control what you post. Only you can control what you do. But a lot of people are not aware of themselves. A lot of people are not aware of what they do and how it affects people as a whole. And then they want people to feel bad for them about what happens to them, but they don't feel bad for what they did, right? There's a lack of accountability in the world. There's a lack of accountability for what people do and how it makes them to become the person that they are, right? You have to be aware of your actions, and you have to understand that your actions are going to have either a negative or positive consequence. So in this situation, I think there's definitely many lessons to be learned. Number one, stop shaming Fresh and Fit for the things that they're doing. They're preaching the truth and they're telling you the truth, at least in this situation when it comes to the dating preferences, right? There is nothing wrong with it. I 100% stand by what they're saying. There's nothing wrong with a black man not wanting to date black women if that's not what he prefers, especially if he's not seen as a thug or a gangster or a rapper. If he's not within those three categories for 90% of the black women, they're not choosing him. They're not choosing him. They're going to see that dude as a lame. And when they view you as a lame, they try to X you out of the black community, right? I'll give you a personal example. I'll give you a personal story. Back in high school, majority of the black women weren't choosing for me, right? They viewed me as a lame because I wasn't that thug. I wasn't that gangster. I wasn't a rapper, right? I was probably your average kid. But the thing is that I was known enough for people to have known who I was, right? But the thing is that I wasn't up there in the popularity. I participated in sports. I did track and field. I did wrestling. I did football. But the thing is that I wasn't within those three categories of what I mentioned. Therefore, I wasn't looked at the most. Even with that being said, when senior came, and I popped up to prom with an Asian lady, right? An Asian chick. Most of the black girls that I went to high school with were very jealous, thinking, "Oh, he thinks he's better than us. He can do better than us." But the thing is that when I wanted y'all didn't want me. So now that you see me popping up the prom with a different type of race, it's a problem now. Apparently, he doesn't like black women. Is that the truth? Definitely not, right? Black women are definitely high up there in my preference. But the thing you have to understand is that with a lot of men, because they weren't, especially that are of the black community, if they weren't chosen by black women originally, they're not going to move towards that. And then another thing that people don't talk about is that this is prevalent in the black community, especially for those who grew up in either the ghetto or the hood. You're going to have a lot of characteristics that a lot of men are going to find as unattractive, especially by the way that you act, by the way that you talk. These are a lot of things that black men are looking at and they're saying that they don't want to be involved with this, especially those who didn't grow up in that area as much. And even at that, even if you did grow up in that environment, sometimes you want to be able to elevate yourself and elevate your mindset and not be around the same things, right? Because there's people who have that same type of mindset that don't allow themselves to grow, don't allow themselves to be in a different environment. And then from there, they end up getting stuck in that same environment, same mentality, and they can never grow, right? They tell us in the black community, especially here in America, that the harder you work, the more you're supposed to be free. So once you work hard, you're supposed to use the money that you worked for to buy the chains, to buy the clothes, to buy the shoes, to buy the belt, to buy the cars, right? Hell, to even buy women too, right? Buy women's time. That's what they try to teach us. Instead of teaching us, use that money that you make and go invest in assets like cryptocurrency, stocks, and then multiply that money. And then from there, go buy the stuff that you want. That's why a lot of things in the black community are messed up and they're not going to come and tell all these things. They're not going to say the truth. They don't want people to be awake. They don't want people to be informed about everything that's going on in this community. But you got to force yourself on a day in and day out basis in order to be able to see the truth. You got to be able to see the truth. Don't allow yourself to be blinded. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep getting better. Let's keep growing every single day. Let's not allow ourselves to become people that are going to be puppets of the matrix. They don't want you to be woke. They don't really want you to see what's going on. So when you speak the truth, they try to shame you and tell you what you're saying is wrong. But in all reality, you are right. You've always been right. They don't want you to admit that, though, or they don't want to admit that to you because it's pride. What's good, Akeem? Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. That's the truth, man. For what I'm saying, let's keep getting up. Let's keep doing better, man. This is 2022. We're gonna start off in a positive way. This is a message to everybody that's watching this video. Let's stay focused. Let's stay woke, man. We're not gonna allow everything that social media, shade room, all of the nonsense is posting out there to cause division. That's the reality of the situation, and we're gonna move according to that. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is gonna be in this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Woke Ebuks, WOKE EBUKS, and tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. But without further ado, let's go into this live stream. This is Woke Ebuks, and I'm out, man.